Hello, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you, sir. Welcome. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning to you. You're welcome, sir. Thank
Good
you for
morning.
joining. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, Laura watching. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you for joining. And now I call Femi and Eddie. Good morning, y'all. Thank you for joining. All right. I believe the audio is great, and then you can hear me loud and clear. Yeah, thank you. Good morning to you too, sir. Thank you for joining. So good morning, ladies. Good morning, gentlemen. All right, thank you very much for the confirmation. So I greet you all. Say good morning once again, ladies, gentlemen as well. For joining for the first time, it's great to have you as well. Thank you for joining. This is our morning market review, MMR. Okay. So on this forum every day, Monday all through to Friday from 8 a.m. We get to look at what's going on in the markets, all right? And then consider the fundamentals that we have as well as the technical setups. And we also do this, I also like to say that we also do this with the hope that when you are listening long enough, you are also able to follow some of the strategies we use so that you'll be able to fine tune yours, align it with yours, and then so that you can have fantastic results in the market. All right. And for these sessions as well, we also do it with the hope that we'll be able to pick a few entries and trade ideas, especially for today and even for the rest of the week. Those will be assets that we can have on watch list to check upon maybe later in the week as well as today. Okay. Without further ado, let's get right to it. And usually we start with the majors, and then from there we start examining other peers to check the important key levels and potential trade setups for today. All right. In terms of fundamentals, we really do not have much for today, but um, tomorrow, Wednesday, all eyes will be on the uh, there's a federal funds rate that is scheduled for tomorrow. All right, so we check the first factory calendar. Let's do that very quickly. Uh, just a second. Okay, so like I said, all eyes will be on the federal funds rates tomorrow. That's very significant, and it is expected to have significant impact on price as well, right? According to the ongoing talks, uh, analysts expect the Federal Reserve to cut interest rates, staying by 0.25% based on uh, the ongoing sentiment. And then usually most central banks do that in an effort to adjust monetary policy based on the economic reality at a particular time. All right. So the Federal Reserve is likely to lower the rates based on ongoing talks, and of course, if that happens, this will impact short-term borrowing costs for banks and it will also influence other interest rates in the economy. All right. Because when it's lower, it stimulates economic growth. All right. Because borrowing money now becomes cheaper. All right. But at the same time, when there is too much money, it can also lead to inflation as well. So that's how the Federal Reserve tries as much as possible to strike a balance in the economy, make sure that it's not too fast, it's not slow at the same time. It tries to make sure that it's operating at an optimum level. All right. So based on the outcome, whether it's cut or left unchanged or it's hiked, this will surely have significant impact on the USD index and then consequently the major pairs, all right, the major pairs. Now, if the Federal Reserve cuts interest rates, this would weaken the US dollar and this would cause the USD index to decline, all right? You already know that I like to start from the USD index to understand the direction of the dollar itself, and then we can apply this to the rest of the major pairs, and that's what we'll be doing very shortly. Okay, so on the other hand, if the Fed decides to keep rates steady or hike them, this could strengthen the US dollar. Then the USD index will rise, and then we can expect pairs like Euro USD, Pounds USD to decline. Okay, to decline. All right. So, of course, like I said, I said all of that because I believe to a very large extent, all eyes will be on that. Carlo, thank you very much for coming. Thank you for joining us. We'll be on that for tomorrow. For today, we really do not have uh, much. Okay. So, having said that, now I switch to the trading platform. Okay. Then uh, start with the majors. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that. I believe you can hear me now. Hello, can we hear me now? Oh, fantastic, fantastic. Sorry about that. Okay, right. So I'm going to quickly do a recap here so that I'm sure we are on the same page. Thank you very much for the confirmation, everyone. So I said that this is the USD index. As you are well aware, we start from here. Um, start from here to understand the direction of the dollar itself. Thank you. And then we relate this to the rest of the major pairs. Okay. So I said that this is the monthly time frame. Thank you very much. However, I also added that for us as day traders, we do not really pay much attention to the weekly or monthly time frame as much as we can use it to get some perspective because those two time frames are so far up that they really don't have much relevance to our setups as day traders. All right. So usually we use the daily time frame as our anchor chart. I also go to the 4 hours for a more defined setup and then tune down to 30 minutes time frame for a more precise entry opportunity. All right. So that's what I do. That's my flow before I take a trade. Use my daily time frame as the anchor chart to check important key levels, support resistance, zones, areas, and things like that. And then I also get additional layers of confirmation for 4 hours and then tune down to the 30 minutes time frame for a more precise entry opportunity. All right. So this is the US dollar index. And again, once we understand the direction of the dollar index, we can apply this to the rest of the major pairs, especially the pairs with USD as one of the currencies. Such pairs as Euro USD, Pound USD, NZD USD, USD CAD, and uh, a number of them. Okay, so USD index monthly time frame, it's significant because remember I said we can use it to get some perspective on price. All right. So if you look at this ascending channel that we have here, it's supported price, the support trend line has supported price since early 2011. All right, supported price right here. Fast forward to 2014, supported price yet again. And then here it even gave us a double bottom pattern, all right? And then fast forward to the current level, also supporting price yet again. And then we now see how this is beginning to push higher from the same level. All right. So of course it is expected. All right. It is very much expected. Now, of course, this is the July candle. This is July candle, pretty much bullish. We still have a few days before the end of July. All right. And then moving forward, I would expect this to continue to push higher, just as we have seen in the past multiple times. All right. And that's what technical analysis is all about. Once you use your current from the past to predict what we have and future direction. Okay. So this is pretty much very fantastic. All right. And that's what we have on the monthly time frame. Okay. So moving on to daily. All right. Moving on to daily. We also see how these has now broken above important key levels, especially the 97.7 level. Now, why is that important as well? I remember I showed us what happened back in should be 2022, where we got that triple bottom pattern. Okay, let me go back to it. Right, see, got this triple bottom right here at the same 97.7 level, and that gave rise to this aggressive run. Okay, so um, a weekly back above, see this bullish candle, very aggressive and very convincing at the same time. All right, now above the 97.7 level and even taking out this previous high at 98.2. All right. So above that level, I would expect this to continue to push higher. Okay. Now, don't forget, we have like I mentioned when I started this session, we have the federal funds rate coming up tomorrow, and that would also have a significant impact on price. All right. But based on the technical setup that we see here, currently, because price has now taken out this high, I expect this level at 98.2 to flip to support. All right. Now that price is above that, expect that level to flip to support. Okay. And then above that, we have 99.6. All right. Yeah. So as much as possible, expect this to continue to push higher, and that would mean shares like Euro USD, Pound USD would now start looking for opportunities to sell on those pairs. Okay, now start looking for opportunities to sell on those pairs. All right, you see why using this is very, very significant. The USD index. All right, now we continue with the rest of the major pairs. All right, the rest of the major pairs. I hope we caught some entry positions from last week. For me, I had okay, pounds USD. I currently have that still running. I think Euro USD closed already. As the structure becomes more defined, I'll continue to increase the block size, all right, so that I can take maximum advantage of the expectation, especially for that bearish strength that I now expect, all right. So next stop will be 0.1, all right. Next stop will be 0.1 as I continue to get more confirmations from this direction, all right, especially in line with the structure that is expected, all right. So now this is Euro USD. This is Euro USD starting from the daily time frame, which is again our anchor chart on Brown says you can both bullish by market execution and USD index. All right. Now let me add this Brown Akiola. Now we have a bullish bias for that asset. Okay. Now what that means is that we're looking for opportunities to buy. Okay. Remember we did that on the daily time frame. Okay. You now need to go to a lower time frame for execution. All right. So that it's more precise. It gives you a fantastic risk reward ratio. Okay. So what you now need to do is to go to a lower time frame and then be buying at support levels. All right. That's what you need to do, Brown Akiola, especially if you're going to trade the USD index directly. Okay. You go to a lower time frame and then buy upon retracement or upon breaking above a resistance. You can also use the moving average, use the bands for additional levels of confirmations. All right. Right. So we have Euro USD, we have Euro USD. Okay. And because the USD index is now has now reclaimed its bullish dominance, all right, that we expect Euro USD because of the inverse of the USD index. So we expect this to continue to push lower. That's what it means. All right. Now pushing lower, it is now at a support. You see that now this is our daily time frame. We use the daily time frame as our anchor chart to get important key levels. Okay. So on this daily time frame, I see this level here at 1.153 now acting as support. And we're interested in selling. Okay, we're interested in selling. So what that means is that you do not want to be selling at support. You're supposed to buy at support. Okay, you're supposed to buy at support. That's the daily time frame. That's the important key level on the daily time frame. So now we take that to 30 minutes and then see what we have. Okay. Then see what we have. All right. So on this 30 minutes time frame, this right here is the same support level, all right, that we saw on daily. Okay, that we saw on daily. So what this means is that number one, for me to trade this, I had a position on it, it closed already. I had a position on it closed already for Euro USD. The pound USD position is still on. The account is still on. Euro closed already. And like I said, I'm going to wait for, as soon as this closes, I'm going to continue to wait for more confirmation, important levels to sell. And then as I get that, I'll continue to increase the lot size for, so that I can take maximum advantage of that move, because it's still fresh, it's just beginning to happen, it's just beginning to clear. Okay, so for Euro USD now, two things for me here. Number one, I need to see a retracement, number one, because this here is support, all right? This 1.153 level is a support level. I highlighted it on the daily time frame, and we use the daily time frame as an anchor chart. Why is it significant? You see this here, this confluence of support right here, where I have this rectangle. Yeah, this right here. You can see how all of this happened around the same 1.53 level. Then here as well. Here as well. Resistance back here at the same 1.153 level. I'm sure if we continue to go back, we'll see additional confirmations. Okay, so that's why I believe this level here is significant on the daily time frame. However, I do not want to take my trade here. I want a more precise entry opportunity, and that's why I'm going to take to 30 minutes. All right, so on this 30 minutes time frame, number one, I'm going to wait for a retracement. All right, number one, on this support level, I'm going to wait for a retracement. All right, and then sell towards 1.16 if price returns to that level, or around that 50 period moving average, say moving average 50. Okay, that's one scenario. The other one would be a break below that support. All right, the other one would be a break below that support. Now, if you are a scalper, you like to take short opportunities, this may also be an opportunity to buy because price is now at support. We expect some retracement from that support. Okay, expect some retracement from that support. If you are one that likes to take short opportunity, you like to take short trades, take small amounts, exit, and get out multiple times, it will also be an opportunity to long Euro USD from support. All right, but for me, it's difficult to stay on the chart. I have to talk to people. I have to uh, customer support, assist people, attend to all sort of that. All right, so I need to see price break below that support level. All right, I need to see price break below that support level, and then I go in for a sell. All right, then I go in for a sell on the 30 minutes time frame. That's my expectation for Euro USD. Right. All right, moving on to pound USD. Moving on to pound USD. Right. This is even more preferred, right? Why is that? Of course, Euro USD and pound USD, they have similar pattern, like we see there. Pound USD hits this resistance. Yeah, Eddie, from the current level, we continue to see series of higher lows and higher highs, okay, from the current level. We continue to see series of higher highs and higher lows. Now, I showed us the ascending channel on the monthly time frame. Okay, currently for the July candle, we have a bullish candle. Okay, and then we have about 2 days to the end of July. All right, so that July candle, of course, would likely finish bullish in the next 2 days. All right. If that happens, then from the current level, we have more confirmation that USD index will continue to push higher from the current level. All right. Remember, we started on the monthly time frame. I showed you the ascending channel, price pulled back to the support trend line, and then the July candle is green. We have 2 days before the end of July. And then if that candle most likely finish bullish, then we can expect USD index to continue to push higher. So what we now need to do would be to continue to see higher lows and higher highs for USD index, and then we continue to trade lower highs and lower lows for Euro USD, pounds USD, and cost of that. Right? All right. We'll get to that. Thank you very much, sir. Okay, so for pounds USD, here it's even clearer. You see this low, all right? You see this low right here. You see this pullback, push higher, and then it's now creating a lower low right there. That's one. So for here, you can see that the structure is downtrend, all right? You see high, starting from here, you see this low, you see this lower high, and then already we have a lower low, which is still going lower, all right? That's a typical structure of a downtrend, all right? So as much as possible here, we continue to trade sells, all right? We continue to trade sell. Here, this is my target for this trade. This is my target for this trade. It's already in profit, and by the time it hits that, I'll be exiting with that amount. And like I said, from that level, as soon as this exits, I'm going to wait for either a pullback again or a break below that support for additional entries. And then as that happens, I'll continue to increase the lot size. This still has much room to go lower, all right? This has fantastic room to go lower. Then I'm going to be taking advantage of that aggressively, okay? Aggressively. It's one that we've been waiting for. It's one that we've expected for some time, all right? And now that it's playing out, I'm going to trade it aggressively, okay? So that's the daily time frame. Now, one more thing for pounds USD, we also have head and shoulder pattern right there. Okay, we also have the head and shoulder pattern, which is also a bearish pattern. Okay, which is a bearish chart pattern. Here you see the head, and then we have the left shoulder right here, and then the right shoulder right here. So, and then this here is the neckline, and price is now just breaking below the neckline, right? Which is even very much fantastic, all right? Which is even very much fantastic. So that's the daily time frame. So let's see what it looks like on 30 minutes. Let's see what it looks like on 30 minutes. On this 30 minutes time frame now, if you're already in a sell for pounds USD, that's fantastic. If you are not, you may want to jump in now for that sell, right? You want to jump in now for that sell. But as much as that's the expectation, it is not immune to pullbacks. We're going to get pullbacks definitely. And then I would also say that we do not get too comfortable with a specific trade plan. As much as this is expected, the market still has the final say, okay? All scenarios should be considered equally, okay? Because given the potential for rapid changes in current market conditions, all right? It can change very fast, even though that's the expectation, all right? But because I'm already in the trade, as soon as it broke low, I'm ready to trade, and then I'll be trading it all the way to that support level. So I'm going to exit just before that support, right? Just before that support. That's for pounds USD. Okay. I see Dr. Ali Bioshu for DE30. Okay, let's see what's going on DE, the German index. I remember we talked about this also from the last session. Had this from the last session as well, right? So for the German index, we have this range. Okay, you see this range. This is the daily time frame again, which is our anchor chart. On this time frame, we get the important key levels. Okay, so we see this consolidation right here. Then we even have it here as well. Let me take this out. Then have it swing this level here as well. Okay, we have this consolidation. All right. So this to a large extent, depending on the direction this breaks out eventually, because we know this will not continue forever, it's going to break out eventually. Of course, in recent times, this has been bullish, all right? And this is likely going to break out in the direction of the overall trend, right? So likely break out in the direction of the trend. So what that means is that I'm going to expect this to break to the upside. Okay, let's expect this to break to the upside. So it has recently tested the support side. All right, it's recently tested the support side. Same price here multiple times. Here as resistance. Back here we have confluence of support, resistance right here. Here as support here as well. Okay, so from this level, that means we expect price to continue to push higher from that support level. If that's the case, then we're looking for opportunities to buy. Okay, so on the 30 minutes time frame now, it's now above the 50-period moving average quite convincingly. We see a retest, and now it's beginning to push back up. All right, it's now beginning to push back up, presenting opportunities to go for the German index. Right, so Dr. Alubioshi here have it for DE40. Okay. All right. USD CHF as well. Now for USD CHF, USD is the base currency here. Right? USD is the base currency here for USD CHF. All right. So you remember I told us just a second. For I think it was for more than 10 years, price of USD CHF stayed above this 0.84 level. Okay, stayed above this 0.84 level. If you check it, for more than 10 years, it stayed above 0.84. All right, and then recently on this day, right here, it broke below 0.84. This was April of 2025, April 10, 2025. Price broke below 0.84 aggressively and convincingly. Okay, and then we got a pullback to 0.84, and then we created a new low. All right, all the way to 0.787 or thereabout. All right, so from that level now, we now see price beginning to push higher. All right, from that level. Okay, from that level, thanks to the strength of the dollar. All right, push higher, found resistance at 0.804 right here. We got a pullback, and now it's closed above that resistance. Okay, it's also significant because if we look back here as resistance, here as support, here as support as well. Okay, so now that price is above it, that automatically flips that level to support. All right. So what it means is that above this level, we continue to take buys. All right. We continue to take buys above 0.804 support. All right. Continue to take buys. All right. So that's the daily time frame. We've seen the important key level to watch, and then we're interested in buying. All right. So we take that to the 30 minutes time frame. We take that to the 30 minutes time frame, and then see how it's been aggressive above 0.804. Okay. So here, what I need to see here is number one, some retracement to go long. All right. I need to see some retracement, maybe back to 0.804 as support, and then I take my buy from that level. Then I take my buy from that level. I think I've also traded these multiple times. That's the USD CHF. I think I've also traded these multiple times as well. Just a second. Yeah, I hope you got that, Doc. I hope you got that. Dr. Ali Bishwa, you got that. So I was going to show us before it got disconnected. USD CHF. Yeah, I've traded it multiple times as well. USD CHF, USD CHF. All right. Traded it multiple times. And then I need more confirmations. All right. I need more confirmations. Now that it is above this resistance, like I said, this automatically flips to support. And then above that, I'll be looking to take buy entries above that. So what I need to see here again would be a pullback to retest this as support, and then I take my buy from there. Okay. Again, the same approach for USD as I get additional confirmations in terms of the structure and levels. I'll continue to increase lot size to take maximum advantage of the USD strength. Okay, to take maximum advantage of the USD strength. And let me also add that this is still fresh. All right, this is still fresh. If you have not been able to take position so far, it's still fresh. It's just beginning to play out. Remember, we have just 2 days for the month of July to end, and that would also be very much significant because at the end of the month, on we're going to check the monthly candle, and if it is indeed bullish, then that would mean it's going to continue to be bullish for months. All right, it's going to continue to be bullish for months, and that would be pretty interesting to trade. Okay, so again, I say that if you have to top up your account, now would be a great time. If you have to fund your account, now would be a great time to do that as well. This is still fresh. This is beginning to play out, still fresh. And then we can take these pips together. Okay, so back to USD CHF. Like I said, I'll be waiting for, because of this aggressive break above the resistance, I'll be waiting for a pullback to retest this level as support. Then I take my buy from here. That's one. The second thing would be because of this resistance here right now, would now be for me to see a close above that. Just a second. Right, you see it here because of this resistance right here, and here as well. All right, so it will be interesting to, number one, either see a pullback to test this level as support, and then I take my buy from there, or a close above this resistance, and then I take my buy as well. That would be on the 30 minutes time frame. Okay, whichever one plays out first. Number one, a pullback to retest this level of support, and then I take my buy from here, or a break above yeah, a break above this resistance. I'm going to make it thicker so it's more obvious. Right. So that's what I need to see for with the CJ. A pullback to this level to test it as support, and then I take my buy or a break above that resistance so that it flips to support, and then I take my buy for USD CHF. Okay. Yeah, everyone is muted, sorry. Everyone is muted, I believe. Pounds JPY, vehicle whose base says is on buy. So let's see. Do I have it here? Yes, I do. Okay, pounds JPY. Pounds JPY. Okay. So we see that we have uptrend here. Again, this is the daily time frame. We use this as our anchor chart to get important key levels and then tune down to a much lower time frame for entry opportunities. So we apply the same thing here. Now for pounds JPY, we see this series of higher lows and higher highs. This trend line supported price multiple times. Right? Multiple times it supported price. And then it hits resistance at 199 price level. All right. Why is that level significant? If you look back, you'll see why. Currently acting as resistance, back here as resistance, back here as resistance as well, and even all the way here as well. Okay, and that's why we need to pay attention to that 199 level. Okay, and then you see how that same level impacted price has been unable to sustain a close above that resistance. And right about now, it has now closed below that trend line. Okay, now the same trend line supported price since April of 2025, and then continues to support price all the way to a few days ago, still supported price. However, price has now broken below that trend line. Okay, what that means is that it automatically flips the trend line to resistance. All right. The way this returns to bullish is if we see it back above 199. Currently, this is showing signs of weakness, signs of exhaustion. Okay. And then currently this level here is acting as resistance. All right, this level here is acting as resistance. I don't know how long you've been buying. If it's a buy that you just took, you may want to re-examine that position, okay? Because your resistance at 199 is a series of lows, okay? It's a series of lows. This is the last lower low. From this lower low, we expect a lower high. Okay, we expect a lower high, which will go all the way to somewhere here. All right, will come all the way to this level. And then for me, I'll be looking to take my sell around this level. Okay, I'll be looking to take my sell around this level. This is the 30 minutes time frame. All right, whichever one happens first, either I take my sell from here or I wait for price to, I don't want that to, okay? I'm going to put it back right there. Okay, so for me on pound JPY number one, I'll be waiting for price to pull back to this level. Then I take my sell, all right? Then I take my sell from this level. Of course, upon additional confirmations, bearish confirmations from that level. Or I see a break below this support. So like automatically flips that level to resistance and then continue to sell below that resistance. All right, so that's what I need to see for pounds JPY. That's what I need to see for pounds JPY. Vico lose this. I hope you got that for pounds JPY. For me, this is directed to edging out. There's nothing like maximum touches as long as it remains within the trend line. Then I'll continue to trade it as such until I see a break either above or below the trend line. That's when it becomes invalid for me. Okay, that's when it becomes invalid for me. All right. So that's talking about the trend lines. Okay. US 2000. You notice that the US indices have been pretty much bullish. All right. And what that means is that we continue to take buy trades. All right. Continue to look for opportunities to buy. All right. For the US indices, talking about US 30, US 100, US 500, and even US 2000. Okay, continue to look for opportunities to buy. All right, they have been pretty much aggressive in recent times. All right, but you also want to be able to buy at uh, an important key level. So for me, this is what it looks like. 30 minutes, I see multiple touches for this trend line. That's why it's valid. All right, we've seen it 3 times now. It's supported twice, and now we see that it's beginning to push even higher. Okay, it's beginning to push even higher. All right, so we continue to take buys for this. Right, even for the 50 club nominal age, it's now breaking above that. It's now breaking above that. Right, so still pretty much bullish. Right, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I would also like to touch on that should be pounds AUD. Yeah, that should be pounds AUD. Remember, it's one that we've had our eyes on, right? And why is that? Because of this consolidation between 2.1 and 2.04 from there, because of this ranging between these two price levels, okay? Which is I remember giving us an example on USD CAD. The consolidation lasted for about 2 years, right? Lasted for about 2 years between 2022 to October of 2024. And then eventually we got a break above the resistance of that consolidation. That's for USD CAD. Let me see if we want to quickly look at. Right, I still have it here. For USD CAD here, this consolidation lasted for about 2 years between 2022 here and 2024. Then eventually broke the resistance and then pushed higher aggressively, delivered close to 1,000 pips. All right. Now, I said that to say the longer a consolidation phase lasts, the more aggressive the resulting breakout will be. Okay. For instance, this phase lasted for about 2 years and then delivered about 1,000 pips, if not more. All right. And then we see for where is it again? So currently for pounds AUD, so far, still consolidating, all right, still consolidating. And then eventually, we know this is not going to move in a straight line forever. We're going to get a break either above or below, all right? It's recently tested the support side of that consolidation, and now it's beginning to show signs of pushing higher from this support, all right? That's the daily time frame. We check what it looks like 30 minutes to say the same support and then it's beginning to push higher from that support level. So above 2.04, what it means is that we continue to take buys, or continue to take buys with the expectation that it returns to that resistance around 2.1 yet again. Here at resistance, back to support, back to resistance, back to support. So we expect this to also push back to the resistance for pounds AUD, for pounds AUD, pounds AUD. All right. At this time, should you have anyone you would like me to recap based on the assets we've been able to analyze so far. If you have anyone you would like me to recap, do a quick summary on them for the next few minutes that we have. Now would be a good time to bring them forward. It's possible you are right late. You already touched on DE. For goal 2, it's consolidating, all right? The goal 2 is consolidating between 344 and 3250, okay? Still series of movements, touches between those price levels from 3447 and 3250, all right? So we continue to sell at resistance and buy at support until we see a break either below or above, all right? Until we see a break either below or above. So gold. We touched on pounds USD already, has a similar structure as Euro USD. If you're already in a sell trade, that's fantastic for pounds USD. If you're not, then we want to wait for some retracement and then sell higher, okay, and sell higher. Now, the reason for this retracement is it recently broke below this significant support level. If you look back, you see why. Here, acting as support, back here as well as support, back here as well as resistance, here as support as well, even here as resistance as well. So that's why this level of 338 is quite significant. So price recently broke below that level. So you may see price testing it as resistance. Right, we see price will test that same level of resistance for a push lower, okay, for a push lower, all right? So for me, on the 30-minute time frame, I'm already in the trade. I'm already in the trade. It broke below that support. I'm already in the trade. I'm seeing decent profit already, but I have my take profit towards that next support, right? So we may see some retracements, all right? We may see some retracements up, we see some retracements, and then we get that, then it will be another opportunity to go in for a sell. Or if price takes out this recent low here, then it will be sell opportunity as well, okay? For the 30-minute time. For pounds USD, for pounds USD. So we touched on USD CAD as well, though briefly. Again, for USD CAD, USD is the base currency, all right? USD is the base currency to take advantage of the USD strength. We'll be looking for opportunities to buy as well, okay? We're looking for opportunities to buy as well. Currently, for me, this is now breaking above a resistance, all right? A major resistance at that. See here. This is now breaking above this resistance. Here as resistance, here as resistance as well, even here as support. So that's why this level is significant. So above that, I'll continue to take buys, all right? Now that it's all breaking above the resistance, okay, aggressively, all right? So I'll be waiting for a pullback, all right? Or a break above the next resistance for me to take buy, except you are a scalper. You don't mind getting in and staying on to watch it. As soon as you have some profits, you exit. That's also very fantastic, all right? That's also very fantastic. But for me, I'll be waiting for price to break above this resistance here to go in for a buy. Right, to go in for a buy. I already missed this resistance, all right? So I'll be waiting to watch. I'll be watching this next level. to take my buy, or a retracement back to this level to retest it as support. Now, next stop will be this 1.387. Now, that 1.387 is also very, very significant. You know why? I mentioned this consolidation that lasted for 2 years. Now, if you check that consolidation, the resistance, the high was at 1.387. Okay, you see 1.387. That's the resistance of that consolidation, and then we have support back here around 1.342 or thereabout. Okay, 1.387 resisted price multiple times. Okay, so I said that to say above 1.374 here, I'll be looking towards the same 1.387 as my target, all right, for buying trades on USD CAD. A break above that will further confirm the bullish bias here, all right? So I'm going to be trading this layer by layer as it plays out, increasing lot size to take maximum advantage of that move. Remember, I told us that this is still fresh. It's just playing out. The dollar index has been bearish throughout 2025. So it's in the beginning of 2025 has been bearish, all right? It has now found the top at that trend line support that I highlighted to us when we started this session. All right, so from that level, expect it to continue to push higher. So for that reason, it's still fresh. It's just playing up. And then it has so much room to push higher. And that would mean fantastic opportunities for us as traders. Okay. All right. That's it for the quick recap of pounds USD and then touch on USD card as well. Right. So having said that, I believe this will be a good place to leave it for today. To be able to touch on few assets or entry opportunities, the best scenarios to trade them. And then as they play out, we continue to take positions, all right, for those assets, right? Thank you very much. Like I said, this will be a good place to leave it for today. And then I wish us a great trading day as we continue tomorrow, same time from 8 a.m. Thank you very much for joining. I wish us a great trading day.